Hi everyone, welcome to another tutorial for HDfleX. In this tutorial, I will show you how to use the empirical adjustment factor when fitting data from different solution conditions that affect the intrinsic exchange rate. In order to perform the empirical adjustment, we first need to calculate the empirical adjustment factor from an experiment performed using the same buffers, but using an unstructured peptide such as bradykinin. So first, let's input our bradykinin cluster data file into HDfleX. Like so. Let's read the file, select bradykinin as your protein, and select the states for which you would like to do the empirical adjustment. So the first state that you select counts as the reference state, and the empirical factor will be calculated to that state. Plateau max D, number of replicates is 3. You can choose any replicate style. You can also manually add your replicates if you cannot find them in this list. Make sure you have free experimental pHs here. If you select 3 states, so the number of states selected is the number of comma separated variable. Since we're doing the empirical adjustment, make sure that the pHs are the same. Otherwise, you will apply a double correction, which will include a pH correction and the empirical correction, because the empirical correction already includes a pH correction. So we will select the time window over which my experiment was done. And now we can go to empirical adjustment in options, and it will calculate it for us. Perfect. So now that it's calculated the empirical adjustment, we can go to our output folder. This is the empirical factor. Make sure you copy that to your output folder for your protein experiment to make sure it uses the correct empirical factors. So now let's start a new session for the protein experiment. So let's load our protein cluster data file and our output folder where we added the empirical factor. Let's read the file, select the protein 1, and we will select the states in the same order that we selected the bradykinin state, so it applies the factors in the right order. Make sure you check this box now, apply empirical correction, and we will have the same window as before. And we can click on Run. When the fitting has completed, you will see all your peptides and fragments in the tree here, and you can view them live in HDfleX by just clicking on them. You can also see the table with the data in. So these empty columns are actually the ETD fragments. So if we go down, so for the peptides that do have the ETD fragments, the cells are populated. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you found this session on the empirical adjustment very helpful. In the next session, I will show you how to save and load a session in HDfleX.